Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 62.
What's going on, Ken? How are you doing? What do you got going on today, Ken? I'm Jimmy, Old School Flips. This is Ken, SSKPromo. We're the Reseller Clickbait Podcast. Go check out our YouTube channels and check us out on Instagram. I also have Old School Resale channel where I'm showing what I sold on eBay. We are resellers. Sometimes we like to joke around, tell jokes, make fun of other channels. That's what Ken's going to do right now. But after we do that, we will talk about some reseller topics. What's going on, buddy? That was pretty good, huh?
Wow, that was some intro right there of what we do.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a really good intro like other podcasts.
No, we need to get like a cool music bed, like at the beginning, like the Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast. They got that cool music when they start up the show.
Well, hold on.
What?
What if we add music now?
Okay, go. You got some? That's pretty cool. I like that.
It's kind of like the Wiggles meets Blue's Clues,
which is kind of our show right there.
A little Barney action in there too. Yeah. Yeah.
The Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast, the number 2 reselling podcast out there.
The number 2, and we're number 1 then.
Money. Oh, of course.
I actually have footage of Chris, Old School Picker, who's one of the Two Old Guys podcasts.
Yes.
He's on that show saying that the Reseller Clickbait Podcast is the number 1 podcast on YouTube. It's in my latest Old School Resale video. So if you go watch that video
on the Old School Resale channel,
the video I just put out, I think it's called List These Now. You can see footage of Chris saying that we are the best podcast on YouTube.
That's perfect. Well, thank you, Chris. We appreciate that. And, and pretty soon I'm in negotiations with Caleb to take that blank spot. I got to figure out the best way to ship a ham sandwich over to him because,
drop
ship. Oh, yeah. Maybe have
just
Subway.
Ship it from Subway. Yeah.
Have a DoorDash send him over.
I don't know if they have a lot of DoorDash or Grubhub out there in that small part of Tennessee, but maybe.
Oh, that's right. They live way out in the...
It's funny, though. You're negotiating. You said you're negotiating with him. Yeah. I was just watching their latest podcasts, or one of their last 2 podcasts, and in the comments, they were talking about your negotiations.
Yes.
And I even think Grams and Pops got involved and said how, no, you misunderstand how our sponsorship works. They are paying us for us to sponsor them.
Yes.
So I don't know how well that's going to work out.
I thought that's how that worked out. Oh, wait, that was the wrong button. I put it. Oh, Grams and Pops right there. Yeah, that's I'm trying to get a big Mr. Billhead on the wall behind Caleb over there, and I can't put anything in Chris's background. He's too high priced over there.
Oh,
I think he's big time.
I am in his shed. I signed the wall in his shed.
Oh, really?
So while I don't have any paid sponsorships over there in Chris's shed, I did get to sign like the beam above my autographs up there. So I'm sort of a big deal.
Well, I guess under my my thought process of sponsorships, Caleb should be paying me to send him a big Mr. Billhead.
No, that's not how sponsorships work.
Well, we're going to have a side meeting or something like that.
Yeah,
You have to let me know how this whole thing works. But we appreciated the last couple shows sponsor.
In the YouTube world. Maybe in the YouTube world.
That might work that way. So,
yeah.
Anyway, Jimmy, how's your week been?
Pretty dang good. Sales are through the roof, and picking has been really good. I got invited by my really good friend Erin Rebel Junque.
Oh, Erin invited you to this sale. Okay. I see.
Yeah, Erin over at Rebel Junque, that's her YouTube channel. She invited she personally invited me out to her town to a high school rummage sale that they were holding at the high school.
Oh, and it was awesome. A whole gymnasium just full of stuff. Great stuff.
Really good donated stuff.
Great,
and I was joking.
Picking.
Ken invited me.
I invited you.
Nice,
okay. So here's how it works. I explained this last night. We're going to be on the latest episode of The Flip Side, Paul Philly Flipper on his channel, or the Flip Side channel on his podcast.
I'm about to get thrown
coming
under the
up
bus
this week, and which, by the way, The Flip Side, for my money, is the #2 podcast, reselling podcast out there. And so we appreciate Paul. I'm flying my Ukrainian colors back here in support of Ukraine and one of the Paul's shirts that he is selling. So check out his page.
She's seriously doing laundry right now. Right? Sorry, that was my dryer buzzer. She's like, I'm gonna disrupt this podcast.
So I need to get back to this. Okay, so Erin Rebel Junque says, hey, there's this big high school sale.
Yep.
Ken, you want to come over to this sale and meet up and stuff? And I was like, oh, that sounds great. I'm going to invite my best good friend, Jimmy, old school. He wants to, he's a picker. He wants to go. He needs some inventory. We're going to go. And so we all go. And then it was cool. We got to kind of like a mini reseller meetup. We all went out for ice cream afterwards with Erin and her whole family. Mama Junque was there. And
Mama Junque,
yeah,
Papa Junque. We can't be careful how you say Papa Junque now.
So we all had ice cream. Okay, so then let's fast forward a little bit. This was like Thursday night. Oh, because the actual sale was Friday and Saturday.
Well, yeah, we got to talk a little bit about that. That was an awesome sale. We all did really good there.
Yes,
and Erin's sharing the love of letting us know about that sale.
Yes.
I guess she let you know, then you let me know, but
yes,
originated with her, and we all found some really good stuff there. So I want to say thank you to her really quick. I know she listens to the podcast. Thank you, Erin, and your family members that I got to meet. Your like you said, Papa Junque, Mama Junque, Mr. Junque,
Mr. Junque, and Baby Junque, and daughter Junque. I don't know what.
Stop, Ken. Stop. I'm trying to say something nice here. No, thank you so much for inviting us. You're going to eat ice cream with us and stuff like that.
You're skirting the issue. You keep trying to.
Well, I know where you're going with this, and I think it's propaganda.
I don't know. I think it's reality. So, I hear about this great sale. Oh, anyway, that sale was cool because, they had shopping carts. This is in the gymnasium. Actually, had shopping carts. And I know between Jill and I and our picking, we ended up with 2 shopping carts full of stuff. Jimmy had to pay and go out to the
2 shopping carts. I did not get a shopping cart.
Jimmy didn't get one because I was like in line. We got there a little bit earlier than Jimmy did, and we weren't there actually that long. You see how far back you were in the line, and we weren't there that long before that, and we're when you were the people lined up pretty quick,
20 people between us,
Well,
you said it was cool. That was not accurate. The one thing it was not was cool. It was it was a scorcher in that gym. It was hot.
It was brutally hot.
Yeah.
And
picking was hot too. The picking was hot. But the temperature was hot too.
Erin brought her own wagon. She pulled a wagon around there, filled it up to the top. Jimmy, I think didn't you guys pay and go out to the car and come back one time, like because your bags were
no, they let you they were a really nice couple, Lindsay and John. I remember their name. They said you can put this stuff in a box and put it behind the table and we'll hold it for you.
Oh, okay.
So they held some stuff for us and we got to go back in and shop some more. So
sweet. So
because we did not have a shopping cart or a
sneak peek night. So there was a fee that they charged like $10 for the sneak peek night, but you were there, pre-sale You got to,
Right. I will say, if it wasn't going to a good cause, I would never do that.
yeah,
Sonia and I both agreed, because it's going to the high school band or whatever it was going to. I believe it was the
yeah.
band, or it was going towards something
Their
with the high
their music
school.
department.
Right.
Yes.
Then I'm for it.
Yeah.
Normally, I would never do that. I'm like, no. Even though the picking was good,
Yeah, but I
because
mean,
I would have been afraid that, what if we would have found nothing? It would have been pretty disappointing.
that's true. And yeah, so it was a donation to the cause
Yeah.
that worked out well.
And I mean, when I walked in right away, the first thing I saw was a in the package Sony Walkman. Scooped that
Yes.
sucker up right away. So right then and there, I already knew it was worth
Right
it.
there, your fee is paid for. Your
Yeah,
entry fee is paid
Right.
for in that, and everything else was just a bonus profit from there.
Then the second thing I found
Yes.
was a Liberty puzzle.
Yes.
So now you're talking, we're getting close to $200 worth of goods in the first two items I found. So yeah, it was really good.
Really good. So thank you, Erin. And the ice cream, where we went over to what, like Ditzy's or something, like what was the name?
The Dice brothers.
Dyson, something like that.
Dish. I don't know how to say it.
But I had a banana split and it was filling. I don't even think I was able to eat the whole thing.
I'm a Sunday kind of guy. So I had me a old fashioned hot fudge and strawberry sundae.
Very good. So yeah,
so
Jill and Sonia, Erin.
See that we stayed. I did it. Let's go to the next topic. I avoided what you wanted to say about that.
No, I'm going to say
we're
going back to this about how Jimmy.
No,
I invited Jimmy. I hear about this great sale, and I'm like, Jimmy, buddy, my good friend, my best good friend, would you like to go to this sale? I just found out from Erin. And then it's like, yeah. So then let's fast forward a couple of days to Saturday morning. And well, no, Saturday almost afternoon, I get a text from Jimmy. Hey, are you out hitting sales this morning? It's like, no, I'm working in my garage today. And he's like, oh, I've been doing pretty decent in your town. Okay. So, there was no message in the morning. Hey, we're coming over there. You want to hit some sales with us? It's after the fact, after his car's loaded with vintage NASCAR jackets and vintage dolls and My Little Ponies.
And I had Hoka Ones in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hoka's, and he's got a couple pairs, and he's like, oh hey man, the picking's great in your town, and I get nothing, no love at all.
Can I defend myself at all?
You can try.
First, the best
salty.
The Hokas and the My Little Ponies I found in my town, right in my neighborhood. So
okay.
The best, the majority of what I picked, I actually found right outside, right down the street from me.
Okay.
Literally. And then we headed into your city.
Okay.
And now that's one defense. Second defense, you worked a concert the day before, so I figured you might be a little tired. I mean, you were working out in the heat. You were helping some concert goers find their way around the venue.
Yes.
And I figured you might be a little tired.
So you're looking out for me.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy. And then the third thing is, it was supposed to rain. And
it was.
I know Ken doesn't really like to venture out to yard sales when there's a possibility of rain.
I might melt. Well, no, not a possibility. I'm not going to go out if it's already raining.
Oh, okay.
Unlike now, you're going to go out rain or shine.
Yep.
You're out hitting the sales. If I get up and it's already raining, I'm like bonus sleep. It's like I get an extra nap right after I got out of bed. And so I'm not going to go in the rain, but the potential was rain in the afternoon. Now you did notice that you made it to all of the sales.
Yep.
And then when you were at my house,
as soon as I got to your house, it started pouring. Yep. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll feel bad. Except for the way it really went down is like, what are we? There's not a lot on the map. There's not a lot to do on this Saturday. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
and let's just get in the car and drive. Wherever we end up, we end up. That's what me and Sonia said. And we headed towards Marion, and we ended up picking and it wasn't great. It was not great. Those NASCAR jackets saved the day.
Yes,
it wasn't great.
Was an awesome pickup though. A
Yeah,
couple of vintage Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, they have like the
NASCAR jacket.
flames on the sleeves, and they're one's all leather with the flame up and down the sleeves,
and they looked almost unworn.
Yeah, they were like minty.
They were very, very good. So congrats on your finds, Jimmy, that day. But like I said, I'm still a bit salty. And I'll put that in the memory bank, when I know of the next good, when Erin contacts me about the next good sale.
All right.
Like,
I have to redeem myself is what I have to. I mean, it's my bad. It's my bad. It's similar to when I thought of doing a podcast and I was like, I'm going to call up my best good friend, Paul. Yeah, he said no, and then I was like, I'm going to call up my next good buddy, Dan and the Man, and then he said no. I just called like 13 different people, and they all said no, and then finally was like, you know what, I'll call Ken.
And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. That sounds like fun. At least I'll have some content out there, and people will know who I am. Because we all know that I'm not making videos on the regular.
That's not how that went down. Ken is the first person I called when I was thinking of doing a podcast.
And here we are.
So see, I thought of you first at least once. And then the rest is history.
Yes. Once it got to picking, when it gets to picking, Jimmy's like, Jimmy's like Jimmy first, and then Ken
second, and then third.
Yeah.
Well, you have two second favorite podcasts, so I don't even know where I stand.
Yeah. Yeah, you're my second best friend, Jimmy. How about that?
Whatever. I'll take what I can get.
You can pick any number of other people, and they're probably going to rank just a little bit higher than you are. But hey, we made a mistake. Speaking of podcasts, we made a mistake last week. We announced, I think, towards the end, we were talking about what we got going on, and it was like, oh, hey, we're going to be on the Let's Do Lunch podcast.
Yep.
Like last Friday, which, okay, with Angie Resells and Kristen, who are great. I mean, again, for my money, they're probably the second best podcast, reselling podcast out there.
Yeah.
And we were wrong. We don't math. We don't calendar. We don't spell.
I'm gonna get a little defense again, though. I'm like the legal defender for us. Okay. It was rescheduled.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's why I think you might have been a little confused. It was initially supposed to be, and it had to be rescheduled. Or
wait a minute, I was a little confused. You're the one that said, "Hey, aren't we doing the podcast? I think we need to go back and get video evidence of who messed that one up." But this week,
asked me what I had going on, and I just said, "Coming up, we will be on." I didn't say when. I just said we'll be on the Let's Do Lunch podcast soon. I didn't say when.
No, but I mean, wasn't it on our show last week though? We mentioned it.
It was.
We didn't.
But you're the one that said we're going to be on it right away.
Well, all right. Okay. Technically,
Ken is right.
Jimmy.
Well, I mean, we'll have to go back and check. Everybody go back and check. You have to go watch the entire boring podcast again. And
so coming up soon, Let's Do Lunch with Angie and Kristen. That's cool.
The second best podcast on YouTube.
So you said that's right. As far as I'm concerned, for my money,
Ken's concerned, you're right there in the log jam.
So you said earlier there at the start that you've had a pretty good week. Not only that sale, but you had some interesting stuff happen at sales, or what's
no.
See, what?
I had something, the strange and unusual happened while me and Sonia were working.
I myself
am. No, like the paranormal and the Twilight Zone stuff happened.
Okay.
So
Oh,
And we could talk about some weird things. Like, for starters,
should we get Troy Mountain Man back on here to discuss
Troy
your
Mountain.
paranormal activity?
This is funny that I'm going to say it. Here's a story
Ooh,
of a man
love
named
the
Jimmy.
segue.
No, because it has to do with the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
But this really happened.
Okay.
And it's kind of do you believe in ESPN or ESP?
Yes, I think I would go that route.
All right, so it doesn't make sense when all you are is just a married couple, though, right? Like me and Sonya have ESP. This
Okay.
I'm building up the moment. Like,
okay,
this is what I'm standing over taking pictures.
okay,
All right, and I walk to the pile of stuff that I need to take pictures of, and I pick something up, and I start walking back towards the picture table, and in my head I sing, and they were all alone. From the Brady Bunch song.
Yes.
2 seconds later, Sonya sings, and they were all alone. Nothing Brady Bunch related in this basement. We both I stopped her and said, Sonya, what did you just do? And she said, I just sang some of the Brady Bunch song. And I was like, why did you just sing that? What popped? She said, oh no, it just popped into my head. And I'm like, there was nothing down here that played. Like, did we play a video on YouTube and it like kind of put it in our head? Did you pick up a toy? Anything? There's nothing Brady Bunch related in this basement. There was nothing that was said or done. No Brady Bunch references at all. And that happened for real. We both sat there trying to figure out. And of course, she has to go on my word that I heard it in my head. I never sang it out loud. I just heard it in my head. But she knows me. Like, I'm not making that up. That's literally, that's why I was like, what did you just sing?
Was she maybe like humming the first part of it, like kind of just low subconsciously?
We were far enough away to where when she sang it, I could hear it, but it wasn't like she was right next to me or anything. That was weird.
You are connected.
So
in a deep, deep way.
And so, of course I was like, well, maybe. I've seen a couple shadows in this house.
Oh, you bought a haunted house?
Now, I'm not going to say for sure because there's a lot of skeptical stuff, obviously. But we have a ghost story that I think I've told before, but that makes me a believer now before than I ever was. But I've definitely in this house been standing there and swore I saw a shadow, and that makes me do that double take.
Yeah.
So of course I just what if there's a ghost, and the ghost was singing the Brady Bunch song, and we could kind
the
of
ghost
hear
of
it.
Sam the Butcher.
Yeah. Sam the Butcher lived here, and
he carries a big old cleaver with him.
That was kind of
Jimmy's house at night. That is kind of kooky.
Twilight Zone moment. Like, it was kooky. There you go.
It's very kooky.
So yeah, and that it kind of is like, how did that happen? How did that happen? How do you explain it?
I cannot. Again, maybe you need to consult Troy, Mountain Man Treasure, his paranormal channel.
So yeah, when I told you, I was like, hey, I got a podcast topic, Brady Bunch song. I was like, and I should have told you it's not going to be something that's like funny. It's just kind of like, it's a odd happening that happened.
Yeah, there had to be, man. You guys, like I said, you tried to analyze it and try to figure out where it came from
too. Like, because I stopped. I was like, no, because I just played that in my head before you sang it. So let's stop.
And that's kooky.
Let's look around. Was there any? And we stopped to see if anything was playing. Is there anything that we picked up? Was there anything Brady Bunch related at all? Nope. Pretty crazy. And then I had to ask, I don't even know how to explain it. So, anyways, that was the weird thing that happened over here while working.
Was that on Friday? No, that was earlier in the week, right?
That was earlier in the
Sometime,
week. Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. I don't remember what day I messaged you, but yeah. Yeah. So that's my story.
Also, here's also okay. When Jimmy first got here to Ohio, this whole episode just gonna be Ken tears down Jimmy.
Okay, here we go now.
This whole the very first week Jimmy gets here and he goes sourcing at some yards and then he messages me, he like calls dibs. He calls dibs on a whole entire city.
That's my town, bud.
Like so he gets that, and then the other day I find out now he's over picking my honey hole. Wait, am I allowed to say?
Are you allowed to say? This is a family show.
This is my honey to lube up my honey hole with.
Well, we were in a community again. It just things happen, right? These things.
Yes.
Happen. We were in a community sale right on the edge of Mansfield, right towards Mifflin. Like we were.
Yeah.
When I mapped how far we were from that thrift, we were like 8 miles away.
Yeah.
Like we were right there.
You were probably in Lucas. Remember when I asked you if you were at a community sale in Lucas? Yep. That's probably there was a community sale. So that's where you're at. And that's where the honey hole is.
Right.
It's in the honey hole. I'll just give it out now because
well, we want to give them they're good friends now. They're good friends over there at what's the name of it?
Sweet and Sour Thrift.
Sweet and Sour
Thrift at and I don't know, they're more closer to Mifflin. I don't know if it's actually there. I think they have a Lucas, Ohio, but check out Sweet and Sour Thrift on Facebook. They have a page, and they actually do a live Thursday nights. I believe they still do that on Thursday nights. They have like a live auction show that they do. I'm not sure if they do shipping on that or not. Or if it's all pickup, but check them out. Sweet and good friend Jeff over there that we've met through there. Jeff and Dora. Dora is one of the owners of Sweet and Sour Thrift, and Jeff is a vendor. Inside. But when I was over there last, Jeff gave me probably the coolest item I've ever seen, and I have it back here behind me. Look at this.
I mean, mine and your definition of the coolest things ever are a little bit different, but it is.
It's like a big ceramic seashell, like a conch shell. But somebody, so if you're listening, out there on Spotify or iTunes or whatever to the podcast, check us out on our YouTube channel, Reseller Clickbait Podcast, and you can see this wonderful. Jeff says, I'll give you this. He said, you can do it as a giveaway on your show sometime. And I'm like, how can I give this thing? It's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
What's the thing coming out of the side? Is that supposed to be the green thing's tail?
I don't. Yeah, it is connected to that. It's like a big eyeball in the center of this kind of a rainbow colored seashell. I don't know. It's creepy though.
It's got long eyelashes on that eyeball.
It does. This is like all handmade.
You're not going to give it away then. You're keeping it for yourself.
Well, not on this show, I'm not. But I mean, not on this episode, but going forward.
All right.
Do like a game show night or something. But check out Sweet and Sour Thrift over on the Facebook. Maybe give their page a like, and
they have a page and a group, so you can follow. You can join the group and you can follow the page. I think if you put in Sweet and Sour, or don't be like me. Again, I have a form of dyslexia. 2 letters together mess with me, right?
Okay.
So he's like, why are you typing in sweat and sour?
Sweat and sour. Sweating. Go over to Sweat and Shower.
It's a different kind of Chinese sauce right there for sure.
Sweat and Shower Thrift over in Lucas.
So if you type in Sweet and Sour Thrift or sales, is the best way to
Okay.
find them on
Gotcha.
there.
Yeah, and again, shout out to Dora. She's a super nice lady, good friends. Her and Jill interact all the time, and as do with Jeff too. Anytime we're over there and Jeff is working his booth or whatever, we talk to him. So yeah, and thank you, Jeff, for that. And at some point, we will give that away. I'll either give it away here on this show or over on my channel when I do like a Ken versus 10 or something like that.
I got to talk to Jeff for a little while. We talked about some of the stuff. We pick a lot of the same similar stuff.
Yes.
Same similar, which I didn't have to say
same similar.
I didn't have to say same before I said similar, but I decided to. We sell some of the same similar identical stuff. And we got to talk a little bit about video games and how hard they are to find video games, with the way they're just, it's not as easy as it used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm using this as a segue right now.
Okay.
To a story that I want to tell.
Okay. What story is this? Okay. What story?
It has to do with our flip-flop guy, right?
Okay.
We told a story a couple weeks ago of the guy that ran up to a sale in his flip-flops, flip, and he runs up and he asks for video games. Like, you got any video games? He's like a total.
No, he didn't ask. He screamed at an elderly lady.
Yeah. And it was like,
you have video games, vintage toys.
And then he ran back out of there in his flip-flops. So
flip.
We were pulling up to a sale, and I said, "Sonia, you got flip-flops on. You should run up." And she cut me off, and she was gonna say, "I know what I got. I should run up and ask if they have any flip-flops, huh?" And I was like, "No, that's not the way. That's not the way the joke works. You're wearing flip-flops. You're supposed to run up and ask if they have any video games." And so me and Sonia are both busting up laughing because she was almost gonna run up.
That's funny.
You got any flip-flops? Yeah, matter of fact, we got a pile of them over there if you're interested. 5 or 6 pairs.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so Sonia's now in the market for flip-flops.
She's looking for vintage flip-flops, Those go for virtually no money.
Money at all. She's got the game all wrong.
Kind of like my sponsorship program.
Yeah, she handles picking like Ken handles sponsorship. Got it all backwards. It's all wrong.
That's hilarious. I could have probably been there to see that if Jimmy would have actually invited me to go with them.
Invited you, then you could have been there for that funny moment.
Hey, I'm sure that our viewers, because you disappointed us last week as well. Did you get the chair put together? The free chair.
Oh,
Jimmy two chairs. Jimmy two chairs.
I did not get the chair put. It is still sitting in the garage.
Okay. What's the holdup? Just
I don't want to.
You figure once you got comfortable in your chair.
Yeah, it's pretty comfortable too. I don't really. The holdup is that I want to build it in the basement, so I don't have to try to take it down the basement stairs once it's built.
Gotcha. Okay.
And with my medical thing, with my crazy hernia, I really shouldn't be carrying that. So I'm waiting. I gotta get one of my boys to bring it downstairs, and it's not for them, so they're not really motivated to do it.
I've been sitting here, Jimmy. I gotta mention you're looking pretty surly over there.
Yeah, you probably noticed, and I'm sure this is driving Nancy crazy. I'm messing with my shirt a lot. It's itching.
So Jimmy's working on his Santa beard. Yep. He's going to see how long he can go, if he can actually make it to the holiday season. And it's actually looks like it's coming in pretty decent.
It's kind of crazy. I don't know if I've ever been able to grow it this well, this fast. Maybe it's because I'm old now. Maybe it's
this Ohio weather.
Oh, the moisture, yeah.
Maybe something in the water when you're showering, that's conditioning your skin a little better than that Colorado mountain.
12 days right here.
Okay.
Is that pretty good for 12 days?
Yeah. If you're going for, the the Gorton fisherman or whatever. If you had a big yellow, hat on, you're
only one of us has
totally-
a big yellow hat, Ken, and that's you, buddy. the old headshot hat. There it is, right there. The Sean Connery. That doesn't even look like you anymore. Like that does not look like you. It looks more like Sean Connery than it does.
Yeah, I'm let because I had at the same time I usually start to do my Santa beard on July 4th, like that weekend. So I
can't believe it. I forgot that you started that soon.
And it takes that long to get that going. So Jimmy's trying the challenge too. I give him till mid-August when it really, if you're already itching now in 12 days, but you'll get past that. You just gotta get past that initial growth where it gets to that point where it's longer than.
Well, I do have a good beard update. Some good news for the beard update.
Okay.
Because I tried probably 10 years ago to grow a beard just to see.
Okay.
And Sonia hates it.
Okay.
And she hated when I tried to grow a beard.
Okay.
And this time though, for the podcast,
okay,
I have full clearance, full permission. She's okay with it.
So she still may not like it, but
right. But I got clearance from the tower.
But you're gonna do.
Yeah. we have clearance.
Oh, the runway's clear. Santa's on runway. So it'll be interesting to see if you make it and if I know you talked about some of the events that you and I have coming up with, the reseller rally in September and stuff. If you want to be, full bearded, then
it's gonna be weird.
In some of your videos, because you don't always see. Well, in old school resale, we see you on camera, but in most of the time,
I'm sorry about that. By the way, I'm sorry that you guys see me in those.
Yeah, videos. So I do look different. And I will have new headshots.
New NEW
For NEW, new headshots for the reseller rally. With and so those who got to see me in Vegas and got a headshot, those that are coming to the reseller, it'll end up being a whole collection someday. Who if you see me at all of these events, and of course I give them out. I brought my notebook in and signed one for Erin.
Ever thought there was going to be a series 2 of the Ken SSK
nobody but me. The DOG always knew that there was going to be.
Person would have guessed that it would have made to us a series 2.
It's so I'm going to do
you.
that.
Everybody that has series 1, lucky you. You have a first edition.
Yeah, eventually someday they'll be worth more than $25.
Right.
Shout out to
this sad story brought to you by our sponsors, Grams and Pops Vintage.
Yes,
it's a really sad story I want to tell real quick.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, it's real. Well, no, but
okay.
But it is sad.
Okay.
I went to a church sale this last weekend.
Yes,
and I walk up to the media box, and I look down into the media box.
Oh yes.
And what do I see sitting there?
Yes.
NCAA Football 14 for the Xbox 360.
The third one in 2 weeks.
The third one I found in 2 weeks out here in the last 2 weeks in Ohio. I've gone over a year since I've found one.
Wait, where did I not go to the media box first at that sale? Where was I?
No, this was a different sale. You weren't here. You weren't there. This
okay. I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was on Friday when you were when you were working.
Gee, wonder
hey, you were working that day.
So. Oh yeah, I was working the big incarceration
right.
Music festival
which is right now some lucky fans are watching Slipknot now.
That's right.
So I'm like, I literally said, like, I almost dropped an F-bomb at a church sale. So it's like, there's no freaking way I just found this game again.
Yes.
Especially at a church sale. And I pull it out and I feel it. There's a game inside of there. And I'm like, yes. And I open it up. Madden 2019 inside the case. It's not the game. Ooh. The game is not in there. So literally, here's this grown man sitting at a church sale crying out loud, like literally just bawling. at a sale, and they're like, "What's wrong with him? Does he need to come inside?" And so he's like, "No, he just wanted a video game, and you guys don't
Were
have
you
it."
moved by the spirit in the building?
Is he moved? Yeah. So yeah, that's it, man. And so of course I went through every single DVD and movie they had looking for the disc, and it just wasn't there. That's
Yeah.
for those of you that don't know, I just sold that game for $100.
Yeah.
And so, but the case should go for about $18 to $20.
Oh, just the case itself.
Yeah,
That's
just
cool.
the case. Yeah, so kind of a
So,
bummer.
yeah,
that it
you've been
wasn't
finding
there.
some. Was that one of your? Well, of course, that game was in there. What was your best find of the week, Jimmy? Let's do that.
Best find of the week is bird related. That's why I did that sound.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I know what the bird was, and I don't think either of those sounds are.
Those aren't bird sounds?
They're bird sounds, but not that particular bird.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know what sound does a pheasant make.
I don't have a clue.
Me either. That's why I'm going.
Maybe they.
Look over here. Look over here. I'll say Sonia and I both found it.
Okay.
I'll give her some credit on it. I saw it and I knew that taxidermy does well. I already know, but some of it does, some of it doesn't. But it always does. Some of it can be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so I looked at it, picked it up, read the back of it, and there wasn't a lot of people at that sale. So I went around the corner, around some clothes to look it up on my phone.
Yeah.
Try to find out what kind of bird it was, and then to look up how much it could be worth. Well, while I'm doing that, Sonia walks up to it after me, and she picks it up and asks, "What kind of bird is this?" And so they say, "We think it's a pheasant." I'm not a hunter. Again, I'm a city boy. I've never been hunting in my life, and I don't think I've ever seen a live pheasant. So, anyways, she asked. So while I hear that, so I look up pheasant taxidermy, and they regularly sell $200 to $290.
Wow.
And it's it looks almost exactly the same as the one that sell. It's a pretty common pose that they put them in, with the tail spread out and the wings, or the wings spread out and the tail. And this one's is mounted that exact same way as the ones that have solds. So that's definitely the best thing we found. It's potentially, I would guess, $250 plus. These people are getting a lot of shipping too. So the shipping will be covered by the buyer. I can tell that as well. It will be something that will be a challenge to ship. I'm going to try to find something that's a little reinforced box.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Yeah, we paid $10 for it.
Okay. Well, that's a good pick. 10 into 200 plus, maybe.
Yeah. So that's
pretty good.
Me and Sonia and I both found it.
Cool.
What about you?
I would
have found some if I got invited to yard sale.
Yeah, I would have had
a NASCAR jacket.
Yeah, and all kinds of good stuff in my own town. You know what? The last couple of weeks I've been working in my garage. I've mentioned that a couple of times, and because I'm trying to convert over the middle part of my workshop part of my garage to a dedicated eBay office. I don't know if I mentioned that on
once
here
or 10 times.
yet, but and so once or 10 times. And so I've been trying to, I have a goal I would like to be done by the end of July, because I got a lot of stuff going on in August. And
I would like you to be done too, because I'm excited for what you'll be able to do with it. I
did a bunch of work. You were over yesterday, Jimmy. I did a bunch today. You wouldn't recognize the place today because it's even worse than it was yesterday when you were here. You can literally, it's a little path that gets you to over to the workshop side. But I did get the workbench out of the one room, and the drafting table and all of that stuff.
That makes sense, because you got to get that work room cleared out so you can bring everything back into where you want it.
Yes.
You have to basically start with a blank canvas in there. Yeah.
With all of that, I have been kind of making a conscious decision not to go sourcing that much, because It just, gets
he's yelling.
piled up.
He's giving me crap, and he's not even supposed to be sourcing.
Well, it's always nice to be invited.
All right.
That's the thing. I would have probably said, "Oh, hey, I'm working in the garage today. I don't want to get stopped." But so what? And so the last 2 weeks, I kind of made a conscious decision not to deliberately go sourcing. Now I did do some sourcing. I had like two private picks that I did, and then we went to that sale at the high school, and I did hit a couple of yard sales going with Jill, but 3 times I have filled up the vehicle without intentionally sourcing. Well, I guess you could say when I went to private,
it's kind of like when you go to Sam's Club and you unintentionally put bubble wrap in your car.
Oh, yes. Oh, I was telling Jimmy that story. I almost stole Jimmy. I'm about as honest and straightforward a guy as you can get. And so I went to Sam's Club, and one of the things I was getting was bubble wrap, and I had it in the top of my part in the thing. And then I was getting some drink bottle things or whatever, like bottled drinks. And so I took the bubble wrap out and I put it underneath the bottom of the cart.
That's a huge. Yep.
Okay.
Been there, done that.
And so I go to check out, and at Sam's Club, they have those handheld scanners. And, so I just beep, 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 beep. I hit all the stuff.
Do you go like this afterwards? You like spin it like a cowboy and go,
oh, yeah.
Of course.
Blow it off. Put it back on the little holster rack thing.
Yep. I just want to make sure I'm not the only one that does that.
So I get to the car, and I take out all my bottle drink stuff. And when I get down to where I can see the bottom of the cart, there's the bubble wrap is still underneath. I had just, I was out there. And so for just, that split second, I'm like, yeah, they didn't catch me.
Yeah.
And nobody said. I looked back at the store to see if any, management or security was running out towards me at the car.
And then the song it played in your head, and they were all alone.
That's right. Yeah.
You're like, I better go inside and pay.
But I could have had a free roll, but I unloaded the rest of my stuff, put my cart away in the cart corral, because I always put my cart away in the cart corral. And I carried the bubble wrap, back inside, and I told the lady, went through to the outrance. What's if it's not the entrance, it's the outrance. Yeah, I went to the exit. The outrance.
You sounded like me just now. That's what I would have said. What's wrong? I went to the outrance.
I just told the lady, it's like I didn't. Okay, let me ask you this. You go to Sam's Club, right? And
we used to go. Yeah, we haven't been here, but yeah. And
so you do all I did, all the self-checkout, and then before they let you out, the person's standing there and they look at your receipt and they scan a few things in the cart and then they mark across it and you go out. What is the purpose of that person at that door? If I can just walk out with a whole, because bubble, it's not like I had something small that I stuck in my pocket. It's a huge.
They're supposed to make sure. Yeah. I mean,
that you have everything. So I did take it back in and I did purchase it. And, because, I slept better that day. Cause, I'm an honest.
When I'm at the outrance, when I'm leaving out through the outrance and I stop to see that person, I usually have a hot dog and a slushie and a parfait and a slice of pizza. So I don't even know what they're doing. I'm just like, because you got to stop at that stand and buy as much food as you can when you're heading out of Sam's Club.
That's, I don't think I've ever went to the concession area at Sam's Club.
Shut the front door.
I have not. Is it good stuff?
It's pretty good and it's cheap. Have you not looked up and said, "Oh, I can get a hot dog for super cheap"?
Well, I've seen it over there when you're going out, but I've never.
So the one in Colorado has the ice cream parfait.
Okay,
I'm sure they all have that ice cream berry parfait. That's amazing.
I'm usually Sam's Club is one of those places that you don't just like run in and get something and run back out. You're usually in there for a while, and it's like by the time I'm done, I'm just ready to. I'm ready to
You're
go.
Usually in there casing the joints.
Yeah. So yeah, I did the right thing, Jimmy, as I always do. And
Oh man,
I
that
paid for my bubble wrap.
dang it. That story would have
And
been much better if you would have said we could have called you the bubble wrap bandit from here on out. You could have made yourself like a bubble wrap mask. Ooh, we're on to something, folks.
yes,
We
maybe
are on the bubble wrap bandit.
that'll be
Bubble wrap mask.
under my name, Ken SSKPromo, Mr. Bill, the DOG, the Bubble Wrap Bandit,
Bubble wrap.
El Luchador, WR Hart, Poop Shoe Ken,
Oh,
and a
shoot.
few others that I can't. Oh wait, what was the one? Vintage, old school, flips, hunter, thrifter,
Flipper upper.
something.
I don't know.
I forget what I have to look back
Flipper
and see
upper.
what that other one was.
Oh, that's
So, do
great.
you have any good sales? Do you have any good sales
Yeah,
along
I
with your
sold those-
find? We'll do
I
some sales and
sold-
then we'll get out of here.
I haven't even made a video of me picking these yet. I'm saving that footage for winter.
Okay.
I bought a carry case full of vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh yeah.
for $10.
Yes.
And there was, I don't even know how, 20 something figures in the carry case, and then
Yes.
the carry case. Excuse me. Well, I sold that for $200
Nice.
plus shipping. And I paid
That's cool.
$10.
Now, being that you, let's talk about that for 2 seconds. You just went ahead and sold the whole lot.
Yes.
$199. Is that about what if you would have parted those out? If you would have sold them separate, what was there would you say there was a higher value?
A little,
Okay.
yes. There were, for the most part, the majority of the figures were $10 figures, but there
Okay.
was a couple that were $21 to $24 figures.
Okay.
We're talking literally out of the 20 something figures, and maybe 5 of them would have went for around 20.
Okay.
Or better, a little bit better. And then the case is worth about 20 or a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
So I took a little hit, but it's the sell-through rate of the lower end ones that made me decide, let's use the better ones to move them all in one lot, and I can price it decently high. That was the decision on, and I think it was the right decision. I definitely don't think.
Well, yeah, 10 into 200 in like a week.
Yeah.
You haven't had those, but like maybe what, 2 weeks at the most?
Yeah, I haven't had them too long. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when you showed them to me that you got them, and then I was surprised when you sent me that little IG the other day that they had sold already.
Yeah,
And,
so those are. I'm actually going to pack those tonight to go out the door.
That was another sale I wasn't at. My big sale of the week, I guess, a decent sale. Not huge, but I sold a hockey jersey. It was Guinness, like Guinness beer or Guinness whatever. Hockey jersey. I had bought 2 of them. They were brand new, still in the package. I had bought 2 of them, $4 a piece. And this is the second one that had sold for $69, $68.99. And the other one sold both at full asking price. So, $4 and nearly 70.
Heck yeah.
Was probably my biggest sale, or the most exciting. It's cool to get that out of there and sell some clothing out of my clothing bin, which I'm going to be listing some clothing coming up.
I do want to ask a question.
Yes.
About, because we're doing kind of the items that we found and items that we sold. We kind of go over that every week. I want to ask you if I should have chose something else as my best find. I've talked to you about it. Go ahead.
Actually, I wasn't paying a bit of attention when you did tell me what your best find was.
You made fun of me for my bird sounds and everything. Oh,
that's right. Are you talking about the thing that you want to say for your wintertime videos?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about at a yard sale this last weekend that I did not invite you to.
Yes.
I just, because I thought it was cool, bought a Ohio State mascot Brutus
figurine,
and he's dressed up as a fly fisherman.
Yes, that was a
And
cool
I
little
paid
figure.
$3 for it because I thought it was cool. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I know enough about bobbleheads and little figurines that, Ohio State is a very popular team. Brutus does really well.
Yes.
So I was like, he has to be worth more than $3.
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy him. I didn't even look him up, just bought him. Later that day, Sonia and I are done picking. We stop at Buffalo Wild Wings to eat lunch. And as I always do, I'm looking up stuff that I found that day, just looking
Yeah.
it up. And I'm trying to find this Brutus fisherman everywhere. None listed at all.
Yes.
And then I'm scrolling through solds and there's just nothing. So I take fisherman out of the name. I don't know why. And I do just Brutus figurines, same thing. And then I get
Yeah.
to the solds and I'm scrolling through the solds, and I come across that figure that I just bought for $3.
Yes.
And there is a sold comp for $259.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm like, is he really worth $259?
What now when you were doing
I
just the
say that-
soul comps on other figures, the other Brutus figures, what was kind of the roughly the going rate on them? Did you see any others that were that high?
No, not that high. No, but
Okay.
there's some collectible ones that were higher for sure. But this one, it's literally there's none listed. It's the only sold there is for it, because I copied and pasted his title. Took some of the keywords that he used. It's the only one I can find anywhere.
Well, yeah, that'd be cool if it would go that high.
Sure.
Maybe Brutus Buckeye figurines are the next, money laundering thing, like Beanie Babies or Black Diamonds.
I mean, it could be that rare. I mean, if it is truly that rare, because I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah,
maybe it really is worth that much. So that could end up being my find of the week if it's really worth that much. I'm going to list it for that much and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. But it's just kind of a mystery.
Did I even finish? Yeah. Like I said, I intentionally didn't go sourcing, but I think one of my best finds was that Santa, an inflatable, Christmas air balloon
the one that I
inflatable
skipped on.
that was 2 palm trees with Santa on a thing. Yep. And I think that can be $150. I paid $3 for it. So
see, you call me. I passed on that on purpose
so that I would find it later.
You were standing right there.
Not when you seen it first.
Oh, you were in the room looking. You were in that room going through your cart when I passed it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I guess I didn't show you.
And Jimmy, see, here's what could have happened.
I know what's happening in my head.
Jimmy could have picked that up and thought, man, this looks like a really good item.
I didn't look it
it's
up
$3.
I didn't look it up.
I
didn't
could.
Know what it was worth.
I owe Ken from a bet that I made. I could have bought this and said, "Here you go, Ken. Here's this cool item right here. Probably then you wouldn't have had to list it and stuff. It's pretty cool though. The thing is friggin' huge. It's like 7 or 8 foot wide when it all blows up.
Trees.
Yeah. It's cool.
What messed with my head on it is, and I should have done it. You're right. So Len, not Ken, but Len 5280 Fines.
Shout out to Len.
Loves to sell inflatable decorations. Yeah. And so it used to be in Colorado. When I found them, I'd just, hey, Len, look, check it out. I know this is what you like to sell.
Yeah.
It was kind of like one of those things where, like, I know he loves to sell those things. Uh-huh. So if I come across one, I'm going to point it out to him. And so
I bought
usually I would have said, hey, Len, go buy that.
Jill and I were at a sale last week. One of the times when I wasn't supposed to be going to sales, but you can't resist the sign. If there's a sign at the end of the road, you're going to go down. So, I had bought a couple of things at the sale. And as I was walking back up the driveway, there was like a plastic garbage bag or whatever. And I thought, oh, let me look in that. And that guy's like, oh, those are all, those inflatable things for Christmas. I was like, oh, cool. So there was 4 of them. There was like a minion, a little dog elf, little bear, and plus a box underneath them that had all kinds of like extension cords and like
nice.
the yard stakes that you plug in like multiple things to, which and they wanted $20 for the bag for everything there. And which there were 4, so there've been $5 piece. So naturally I offered them 10 on that, and we settled at 15.
Yep.
And so I thought that was a good deal.
Yeah.
And so we throw them in the car, we go do all of the rest of our stuff, whatever, come out to the car, and it's like, man, something smells in here.
Oh no.
And so I get them out. Well, there's one of them that the cat must have peed on to clean it up. So I've had these. So if anybody knows how to get cat pee out of an inflatable fire, that's Jill had got me the product, an odor band stuff.
Yep.
And so I've had them outside and hanging on the line. Now the other ones are not too bad. It was just this one that's kind of bad. But I'm trying to salvage it. So I've been spraying it with this stuff. So now it has a nice citrusy cat pee smell to it. So
it smells like a cat's been peeing on a lemon tree.
And exactly. So if anybody has a hint, tip, or suggestion down there in the comments of that one, I'll probably in the end it's getting better. It is getting, the odor band stuff is working well. And today I actually unzipped it and I sprayed it all inside of the piece too. So
good idea.
But most of the ones that I got, they weren't they're not high dollar ones. They're not like the Santa and the hammock one, but they're all $20 to $30 a piece. And so all I got to do is sell one. I'm totally in the money. And then I can either keep all those electronic parts as far as sell those like on a yard sale or something like that. So,
yep.
What else you got today, Jimmy?
Nothing that I want to get into. I have a long story. We'll save that for next week.
Oh, is it that review that you did on?
Yeah, it's the review I left.
Yeah, I want to get out of here. Over on Ray, the Nashville Flipper, they have a new setup for their podcast. This week in Reselling Podcast, they do it live on Sunday night, so you won't hear this till Monday, but check out the replay to see their new setup. And I mean, they got a great podcast. This is probably the number 2 podcast.
The number 2 podcast.
Number 2 reselling podcast out there. So check out Ray, the Nashville Flipper, and Dustin. I don't know who the guest is tonight. I didn't look, but I want to check out their new setup where they're side by side now. Yes, basically in living color, as Ray would often say. Living color. So, okay, that's it. We'll catch you next time on the Reseller Clickbait Podcast.